welcome to a big Cuppa where we're going to spend a bit longer talking about some stuff, aren't we?
We are, and as you can see, we're in Steve's garden. It's spring-like.
Yes.
Got daffs.
Yes.
We've had a bumblebee.
What we're going to take a longer break talking about this week then, Curly?
We're going to talk about a really interesting topic about confidence, but specifically on our workshop and at the Confident Club, we talk about acting as if.
Acting as if.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a classic technique that I've come across with a lot of people I've worked with, sports people, business people. I mean, the one that comes to mind is Simon Woodruff. Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
So Sam Woodruff, founder of Your Sushi, really interesting guy, with the same agent as me. Did I tell you I had an agent? Shared the stage with him many times, and I was talking to Simon, and you know his background wasn't restaurants, so he'd managed it through a very another interesting story which we shared at the time, raise £1 million, but then he had to go for this high-powered negotiation with like a landlord to rent this restaurant space in West End of London, I think. So he's going to basically spend this £1 million and all that, but he'd never done all like that before. And he thought, and he was a bit sort of like, a little bit lacking in confidence. He thought, well, I'll just act as if I have. I'll act as if I've had like 100 meetings with 100, you know, landlords, big whoop-de-doo. And I'll talk in the way like somebody's already done it before, and I'll just have that kind of confidence. And so that's how I acted as if I had done it before. And I guess what happens is that confidence comes through.
Yes.
Even though you might not know
so
what you're
doing.
It
worked.
Well, it did. He got his restaurant in, and we all know what happened after that. So just act as if you have, even if you've never done it before, and see what happens.
Good advice. I like that. Mine's slightly different.
Okay.
So rather than acting in a certain way, I focus more on the outcome.
Okay.
So it might be a telephone call, it might be a meeting with somebody, it might be a presentation. So I ask myself this question, which is, what would it take for me to know I've done a good job?
Right.
Because I think if you can do that, it really helps your confidence. So that differs in different situations. So Steve Pipe, if you're watching, hello.
Hello, Steve.
Steve gave me my first paid gig.
Right.
And I knew that this Steve was going to be there. And he's going to be on before me, actually. So at the time, it was a bit like following the Beatles.
Still is.
Don't let your head get too big. It was a bit like, I felt it was like following the Beatles.
Yeah.
And I thought, right, okay, I need to be really confident. How can I act, right? So I thought, what would it take for me to know that I've done a good job? Apart from hopefully everybody smiling and clapping. And I thought, I know what it is. It's really simple, this. It'd be you, Steve, with a really big grin on your face, sort of nodding like this from the back of the room. And I know I've done a good job.
Right.
So my advice is, once you've decided what the situation is going to be, ask yourself how you know you've done a good job, and that may change in different circumstances. And just focus on that one outcome, and it really helps you to feel good about it.
Right. Here's another one that sort of sits with that, springs to mind, which is a bit of a wacky one. And it's one of those you go, that's insane, but tell me it don't work after you've tried it, not before you've not done it, right? So I get booked to do this thing, right, using auto cue, like we're using today, where we're reading this script.
Can you tell?
What does that bit say there, Curly?
It says take a pause.
Take a pause. Where you read script off camera, right? What happened, some friends of mine had a production company, did some work for a company called Powerhouse, a bit like Curry's, electrical retailer, so white goods, fridges, that kind of thing. Yeah. So we want to do this sales training video, and we want you to be the presenter. And I said, well, I've never done it like that. Yeah. And you know, we say to all you, you know, when you get that feeling, that means I probably should do it, because I thought that would be a bit of a challenge.
When's the last time you pushed your comfort zone?
Well, yeah. And
you get asked that a lot.
Yeah, and this is a few years ago, but I'm thinking, so part of me is thinking, I hate scripts. You know we're not fans of scripts, don't you, right? It's all like word perfect. So I'm going to have to do a script, and then I've got to learn how to use auto cue and all that. Why do you want me? Because the client says he likes your Yorkshire thing, and we're training how to use auto cue. I thought, well, that's,
something to learn,
skill set. So I went to train how to use auto cue. Now that was funny. I don't know if there's anybody watching this ever used auto cue, right? Apart from Barack Obama, perhaps, whatever. You have an auto cue, in my case, woman, so I'm rehearsing, so it comes up in screen, and they go as fast as you do. But what I found early on was you get in a race with auto cue person, right?
Right.
So the faster you go, the faster they go. And before you're going really, really fast, right? So took a bit of practice to chaos rehearsal out the way, and then I got comfortable. That's fine. Anyway, cut to the day of the thing, and I've made some assumptions, which is a very dangerous thing to do. I didn't have a plan B, which we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, right? So I'd assume, first of all, where we were filming at this store, it'd be closed,
right?
Because we're filming. It was in Stoke. Store was open. It was a mega store. It was full of people. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, you know, as soon as a camera and a microphone turns up, you get a crowd, don't you?
Crowd covered,
So, you know, we're setting up, we're getting all the lights and all that, and there's loads of people, so already I could feel my heart rate going on, thinking, right, it's a bit of a challenge, never done this before, now as everybody's looking at me. And then the director says, right, Steve, I'm going to go for this first take. This is what I want you to do.
Yeah.
I want you to walk down this aisle, it's this really long aisle, and I've put a mark on the floor, and I want you to stop exactly on that mark, because we've got another camera set up there.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't look down at the mark. I know where to stop on it, right? So you'll stop there. Yeah. And I want you to turn to the side and go down that bit, and we'll follow you with the steady cam, right? Okay. Then you see that fridge there, I want you to lean on that fridge, and then say the last bit, right? And I'm thinking, blimey, right, okay,
right.
I
can do that.
And then his phone went, he said, oh, it's client, I'll have to take it. And he came back, he said, oh, I've just had a message from client. He said, do all that, but can you do it, but not using a Yorkshire accent?
Have you got another accent?
No.
No.
I mean, what? he said he wants it to be posh. I said, I'm not an actor, you booked me to do this. He said, anyway, we've got a bit of problem with sound, just wait there, but we're going for a take in a minute. So I'm thinking, like, Yeah. So the other technique with actors is to stop in those moments of challenge, or even beforehand, and think, who do I know?
Yeah.
Ideally somebody that you know personally, but if you don't know them personally, somebody you just know a bit about.
Yeah. See them on the telly.
Who'd be good at doing this thing I've never done before, right?
Yeah.
So you know, often I'll think of saying Muhammad Ali, right? But that maybe have worked. But the person that dropped me in the head was Carol Vorderman, who some of you may know, Countdown and all that.
Yes.
Both me and Kirsch, back in the day, a friend of Curly's. Carol came to my wedding. That's another story.
Hello.
I know. I thought Carol. Right, Carol Vaughan, this would be a breeze to her.
Yeah.
So I thought, what I'll do is I'll just step. It's called stepping inside somebody else's body, Curly, right?
That is weird.
So while I'm waiting for the sort of the lights, I thought I'll just vividly imagine stepping inside Carol's body. Not an unpleasant thought, right? And experiencing what I'm experiencing through her eyes, and if you like, through her beliefs, those of you who know about NLP and all that, right?
Yeah.
And so just get some insights. So first insight I got was, there's only this many people looking at me. I'm Carol Vorderman. What's going on? I'm on Countdown. Should be more folk looking at me. All you want me to do is walk down there and stop on that mark and go there, lean on that fridge. You know, piece of piss. I don't think I should have said
edit that bit.
We won't edit that bit. That would be very easy, I thought, right?
Yeah.
And now, I'm not saying I became Carol Vorderman, but just giving that little dollop of confidence, Curly, right?
Yeah.
Now, we didn't get it take one because there's various things.
Yeah.
But take three, you know we say you should be out of your head, but sometimes you're doing so well, you're so flow state.
You're like in the zone.
Even while I'm reading this thing, and it's you know, obviously don't look like you're reading it either, right? So I'm being all natural, and in my head I'm going, this is going brilliant, this is great, right? I'm really good. Hit the mark, fantastic. I lay it on the fridge, just as I lay it on the fridge, 2 lines to go. This little old woman bursts through the crowd of people, about 200 people watching by now, with a tartan chopping trolley, comes right into shot, comes up to me and says, excuse me, love, do you know where electric kettles are? Cut.
Brilliant. But it worked, the strategy for you worked.
So next time in this situation, who do I know? Maybe somebody I've met, or somebody I've seen on telly, and what would they be thinking in this situation? And act as if you're them.
Yeah. Well, one last comment that I was thinking while you were talking.
I've got another though.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I'm finished my coffee or tea.
I'll get a word in edgeways. So I was thinking about that, about pretending to be Carol or whatever it might be for you.
Yeah.
And I think it's about finding a strategy that works for you.
Yes.
So I was thinking, going back to when I was a little kid, and I still do this to this day. If I've got to do something, and I'm really scared about it, or I'm worried or nervous, and there's a group of people and I'm in the group, I always volunteer to go first for many reasons. So when I was a little kid, I don't know if this still happens. Does the nurse still come to school to give an injections? I don't know.
They've got the scar on one of these.
Yeah. So there I am. The nurses come into school. We're all 5 or 6. Everybody, she's going to stick a needle and it's really going to hurt. Yeah. And I was thinking, to be honest, aren't they wussies? It can't hurt that much. So I decided, for 2 reasons, I volunteered to go first. Number 1, at least you get out the way. That's a really good reason. You've got out the way.
Yeah.
But also, I suppose I turned myself into a role model, because I went in. Right? All the other kids go, it's going to hurt. Anyway, I went in and she stuck the needle in my arm. It wasn't that bad, it was all right. And I came out and this whole queue of children looked at me, and I went, that was easy.
So that helps your self-belief because you did it once and...
I've done it once, so I felt good, and obviously it really helped them. So instead of coming out crying and whinging and going, the rest of them thought, oh, she can do it, I can.
Yeah, I mean, finally, again, it's kind of sort of we may talking this on the Cuppa kind of role models, but it's just kind of thinking, you know, who do I want to? When people talk about goal setting, right? Yeah. They often get lost in materialistic goals, you know, like things they want to have. Yeah. Cars, houses,
Ferrari house,
gardens, Kit Kats, whatever. Yeah. Which is cool, you know, that stuff's okay. But I think really happy, successful, fulfilled people get focused on who they want to be first. Yeah. Be and do, and then the haves kind of follow, right? Yeah. So I think, you know, hopefully you're a different person today than you were the person this time last year. And if not, why not, right? So we all need to be growing like these daffodils. These daffodils are going to keep growing. Some haven't come out yet, have they?
No,
till they're finished. You know, like trees. Trees don't go, I'm sort of done now. I'll stop here. They just keep growing till they're done, right? But people seem to like get stuck, don't they, right? So my favourite one of that is a great film actor, Cary Grant.
Yeah, I used to love Cary Grant.
I still do. And
you might have to Google him, you younger people out there.
No, you won't. Cary Grant.
He's famous.
Even Finlay, my son Finlay likes him just because of his suits, really. But anyway, Cary Grant started life as Archie Leach, not the best film star name of all time. Oh, no. So went to Hollywood and changed his name to Cary Grant, and then thought, who is this person, Cary Grant? And he came up with this image who this person was and how he looked and how he sounded. Yeah. And he said, I just started acting, not just on screen but everywhere, like this person called Cary Grant would act. He was like a suave, sophisticated, funny. Even though I wasn't that person, just started acting like that till I became him, or he became me.
Interesting.
I know. And on that note, we're going to stay in garden probably, but you might have to go back to work. I'll see you.
Bye.